Hi cuties and welcome to a TBR video. This is going to be a little bit different than how I've done TBRs in the past because this is the first like official TBR video because the last one was just choosing the January TBR. It didn't have any of the real connotations and I'll also be kind of combining my TBRs with also my recaps. So let's recap a little bit. Last month I rolled 5 books to read in January, and I can proudly say that I did not complete that challenge. I did read 5 books. In fact, I read 11, but I did not read all of them. It's not really my fault. And I could have physically read it, I suppose, instead of the other books that I read, but I was waiting for the audiobook to drop in my library app, and it only just dropped today.
This episode of QWERTY's TBR was pre-filmed on January 31st in front of a live studio audience.
We don't get it. The one that I did not get was We Hunt the Flame, which I'm sad about because I'm really excited to read this, and I guess, you know, that's why it took so long to get to me, because it's really popular and really cool and interesting, and so I didn't get to this one. It will officially go on the TBR for February. There was no point on the card or anything, but it was the book box books. It was a wild card, so that remains in the book for now. Now, I did read 11 other books, and 7 of those were audiobooks, and only 4 of those were physical books. It was a busy month, okay? I had a lot of things to do, and while it sounds like, oh my god, I read so many, like 11 books, normal humans don't do that. For me, it's shameful. Quick recaps. I won't be going in too much detail for it because I will have a video called the January vlog that you'll be seeing next week, should you choose to watch it, that will go through kind of a big reading vlog of the month. That's another way I'm doing this. So, quick recap. The first book I read was Lore by Alexandra Bracken, and this was okay. I kind of am agreeing with most of what the critics are saying in that it's fine. It didn't draw me in like I wanted it to, and it was very different than what I expected it to be. It's an urban fantasy, and it was trying to say some feminism messages that also ended up a little bit hypocritical in what it delivered in the end. So it was okay. I'm not attached to it though. Then I read Not Like the Movies by Kerry Winfrey, and I really enjoyed this. This was one I was supposed to have read in December and didn't get to, but I completed it now, okay? And this is the sequel to Waiting for Tom Hanks. It's more of a companion to it because it involves the main character from Waiting for Tom Hanks. It's her best friend and her story, because her friend in the original book wanted to write a movie script and base that script off of her life and her boss's life at this coffee shop, but put them in a romance when they're not involved, and so it's a little bit of weird tension, but there's, you know, some other tension. But it was really fun, and I really related to the character in this one a lot with how much responsibility she puts on herself and doesn't let anyone help, because I definitely don't do that. Then I was very excited to read Skyhunter by Marie Lu, and I thoroughly enjoyed this. Marie Lu always serves me what I want. Going in though, I thought this was going to be like a hard sci-fi. It's not. It's more like a zombie dystopian futuristic society. It's very different. I'll say, I don't even know how to properly describe it, but there's kind of there's a little bit of the horror aspect, a little bit of the paranormal ghost aspect, not really ghosts, but that's what they call the zombies. And there's some kind of cyborginess to it a little bit, some kind of demony elements. It's very diverse in what it's giving us. And we have a main character who has a disability as well, who cannot speak anymore. And most of the language is done through sign language, which I really thought was really cool, and how it was just so commonplace for everyone to know sign language based on the fact that the zombies are good on the hearing. A little bit of A Quiet Place, if you will. But I super enjoy this, and I already have the sequel on hold on Libby, but it's got 10 weeks, so we'll see that one in a few months. Then I read our indie book of January, and the indie book was Strange Gods by Alison Kimble. This was excellent. I don't really have bad things to say about it, except where is the next book, because there is clearly a series going on. There was a little bit of dragging on with some repetitive thought processes that I thought we could have toned back, but it's whimsical and a little bit horrific. It's a mixture of Holes, Alice in Wonderland, and if you watch Hala's video on her review for it, she also suggests that it's very Spirited Away, and I highly agree with that analysis of it. So go check out Hala's video if you want a more in-depth review of this. We will be reviewing this, if you're watching this video right now, on Friday the 4th. On Sunday, we will have our book group discussion during the Shenanigans live stream. So if it's past that time, then you missed it, but you can watch the replay if you want to hear all of our in-depth thoughts about it. But I'm really glad that we picked this one for the January read because it was excellent. Then I got There Will Come a Darkness, and with this book, it was the Categories one, and it also had a sticker on it, which means by completing this, I get to roll the Wheel of Rewards. Ha 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 ha! But I also have to roll the Wheel of Punishment because I did not finish We Hunt the Flame. We will get to that in a moment. But There Will Come a Darkness, again, this one was okay. I struggled a little bit between the different POVs. It's a kind of high fantasy situation where the world building was like, it was a lot of world building happening in this, and so I hope in the sequel there's a lot more of the character building. I did appreciate certain characters. I was not so attached to other ones. I just don't think, they're not developed enough, but I didn't relate with them and I couldn't really distinguish them. But I did enjoy this. I mean, I love the cover. I'm not gonna lie there. It wasn't the spectacular adventure I thought it was going to be, but I'm not mad about it. Next up, I can't remember if I actually pulled a card for this or if this wound up from, I think this was a friend pick, wasn't it? This was the friend pick. Fee picked this for me, didn't she? Anyway, I read Odd and True by Kat Winters. This was technically a last chance read for myself, as well as one of the 22 books of 2022. And it was, again, okay. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be. It was pitched to me as supernatural, but with women, and it's a lot different. It's very less on the supernatural side of things, on the paranormal aspect, and it's much more on seeing these sisters and their truths, because we have a younger sister and an older sister, and we flipped timelines. So the past timeline is told from the older sister Odette's viewpoint, and then modern is with True, and it's interesting to see their relationship and how they've grown up and changed. There were some points in this that I did not appreciate, but I also am kind of annoyed with the ending of this because it's bittersweet. It's not really the ending I wanted, but it's a realistic ending, I should say. But I wanted a bit more of the paranormal aspect of things, and I got more family drama, if that makes any sense. But still fun. Still fun. Right, next up, I kind of am regretting having read this story this month because it took forever to get through, but that's because it is a chunk. It is kind of a classic. It's a sci-fi classic, and I had just had it on hold for forever and then it dropped. So I felt bad because I was trying to get through all the other audiobooks that I needed to for the month, and this one took up so much time. I don't regret reading it because I still enjoyed it, but that is Dune by Frank Herbert. This is the fancy edition of it. Oh, sandworms and everything. The spice. I enjoyed it. It's definitely dated for me. I think in all the adaptations, because now I've seen 2 different adaptations of Dune, the adaptations really do Lady Jessica dirty. She's much more powerful and stronger than the adaptations make her look. They make her look a lot weaker. And I think this book should have ended 2/3 of the way in because we have some time jumps and things, and I just don't like how the growth in the third part of the book really went down. I don't think it fit the narrative of the entirety of Dune. I think we could have ended, and that would have been a good, solid ending, but it just kept going, and I'm like, when does it stop? We'll try to continue with the series because, you know, it's a classic sci-fi. My dad loves the series, and I enjoy adaptations of it, however strange they may be. I have read Dune now. I can say it. I've read it. Remember how I said I was going to do quick recaps on this. Yeah, that didn't happen. The next book I read was the prompt, an element in the title, and that was Shadow and Light, another one of my 22 of 2022, and another indie book. So I've read 2 indie books this month, and I was thoroughly disappointed with this one. I was disappointed with this. Does this cover not suggest a gay romance? It is not a gay romance at all. The problem is the way that this is pitched to you, it makes you think that these 2 characters are going to get like involved really quick in some scandalous thing or some murder plot. They don't meet until the book is like 3, how many pages did I have left? It's in the vlog, you'll see in the vlog, but they don't meet till really near the end of the book, and that hurt it. I also did not see a difference between like any of the characters, and there's a lot of fridging of female characters in this that I super did not appreciate. You'll see more in the vlog because I go on a lot about it, but I was thoroughly disappointed with Shadow and Light. And not just because it wasn't gay. Then I got to Problematic, which I read The Nobleman's Guide to Scandals and Shipwrecks by Mackenzi Lee. There's been some drama in the world of authors, and especially straight white women writing gay romances. However, this is not a gay romance. It does have gay characters, but the first book in the series is a male-male gay romance. But the sequel is also a female-female, also ace character romance. So there's a lot of diversity in the Montague siblings trilogies. But anyway, I think I actually like this one the best out of all 3 books because Adrian is so relatable with his crippling anxiety and a little bit of OCD. The thought process is that he has, not all of them, some of them are very extreme, but many of them I'm like, I've thought these things. And so this story is less about any romance, but more about his growth and his connection to his older siblings who he had never met before, didn't even know existed, which is very fun and interesting storyline. I do wish that, because he is engaged to a woman in the beginning, I do wish, and in the end, she doesn't go anywhere, but I do wish that she had gone along for the adventure with him to kind of experience and see the severity of his anxiety and his growth with it. I feel like there could have been done more with him coming back and being a changed person. That changes your relationships with the people you left behind to go on the grand adventure. That's all my criticism for it, but otherwise I really enjoyed it, and I do think it's my favorite of the Montague siblings series. I'm definitely missing one card, I don't remember. But next up is my classic read. So every month I am trying to read one classic, and I didn't count Dune because Dune was not, it doesn't quite fit the classics. Basically, I'm counting it as if it has this type of cover because I have all of these Paper Mill classics, which are Paper Mill Press Classics Edition, which are these kind of pleather bound. But I read A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens, and boy was I bored with it. This story takes a while to get into and to understand and to even remotely care about the characters, and then it's over. So I'm not a fan. Dickens and I, so far we don't get along. We'll see. I have 2 other Dickens books in the Paper Mill Classics. Maybe I'll like them more. I know I like the story of Oliver. Like, I like the base concept of these stories. I love adaptations of them, but the read itself is kind of dry. And I think one of the main problems is that a lot of old classics were serialized magazine kind of things, and then they just kind of stitched them together. So I don't think most of the authors at the time were necessarily thinking the way that we do nowadays when we're creating novels in big picture and larger arcs and things. It was just keep the readers buying so that you could feed yourself back then. That's my thought on that. And the last book I read I don't physically have because it does not physically exist, and that is Evershore by Brandon Sanderson and Janci Patterson, read by Susie Jackson, with an audiobook. I literally just finished it 2 minutes before filming this video, but I loved it. This is the 3rd in the Skyward Flight novellas, and I'm happy to say that you don't have to read Cytonic to read this one. I was worried because it's labeled as 3.1, and I haven't read book 3 yet, but I'm hoping to in February. We'll see what we do. I really enjoyed it. It's Jorgen's POV this time, and my boy Jorgen just the stress levels, baby. I'm so sorry. I love seeing the expansive world building, or universe building really, that Brandon Sanderson has done with the Skyward universe. I love the Kitson. I would like a Kitson. Can I have one, please? I would also like a Tanix. I'm kind of debating making my own Tanix at some point in this year, but that's a side project for another day. I thoroughly enjoyed it. If you have read Skyward Flight, you'll definitely love the novellas. You don't have to read the novellas in order to enjoy the books, but they do enhance your experience and give you a deeper look into some of the other characters that aren't a POV in Skyward, because Skyward is all Spensa's story. And as much as I love my girl Spensa, I do love some other characters too, and it was nice to see them. Anyway, real quick wrap up on the stats for this month. So that was 11 books, 7 audiobooks, 4 physical copies. I was gonna say paperbacks. I'm like, no, paperback and hardcover. I read a grand total of 4,601 pages and listened to 101.5 hours of audiobook, which I think is a lot. My average rating for this month was 3.59, so that's not too bad. Could have been worse. And it took me about 5 days to get through each book on average. And I read 4 fantasy, 3 historical fiction, 2 sci-fi, and 1 contemporary. And those are the monthly stats there. Hope you enjoyed that. Now, the reason people come to these videos. Dice. We're gonna roll. We're gonna play the game. I do have to do my wheel of punishment and my wheel of rewards first. So we have 1 and 1 because I did not complete the TBR and I completed a special card. So let's zoom in. We're gonna start with failure first because we always do bad news first. So let's see what I get. Oh, let me just roll it off. Hey! We've got spoilers. So I will have to spoil one of the books on whatever TBR I have. So we've got spoilers. Over to the wheel of rewards. This one's a little bit wonkier. I don't know how well this one spins. There we go. We got a reroll. So should I desire to, I have a reroll. One of the books I'm going to have to spoil. I don't know which one obviously yet. And I get to reroll. Should I want to, I am going to say that I can hang on to that for now. I might need the reroll right away. I don't know. But let's go to the dice. We're going to roll the D12 and see how many books I must complete in February. Please don't be that high. February is a short month. I get 6. 6! Woohoo! With the 6 books, this does not count on that. So I will technically need to read 7 books, because this is a carryover. This does not go with the new TBR. And I have Half a Soul, which was the book that won for the February pick of the indie books. And this is by Olivia Atwater. It is a short book, which is nice, but it's kind of like historical romance, and it should be nice and fun. If I come up with a prompt, I will just put this on that as well. And I will also try to pick a classic, but if I don't have a prompt that matches it, we might end up having a TBR of 9 for February. Cool beans. I've got the D6. 3. So let us move the Quirmy up one shelf onto the cute little book there. Rolling the D12 again to move. 2. We're moving her 2 spots, so 1 and 2. Let's draw a card. We have the stack of cards. I'm going to choose at random. I'm going to go with this card. Ooh, an LGBTQ plus book. Okay, this is really, really lucky because it already has dropped in my Libby app, so I can already begin this. But for the LGBTQI+, I can speak. Book, the queer book, we're going to read Iron Widow by Shiranje Zhao. I'm very excited to read this. Fee has already started reading this, but to give you a brief summary, in Huaxia, the highest honor for a young girl is to be selected as concubine pilot. Supporters paired up with male pilots to power up chrysalises, the giant transforming mechas that humanity relies on to battle the massive aliens that lurk beyond the Great Wall. But the honor often ends in death, and when 18-year-old Zetian's sister is killed by an ace male pilot, Zetian signs up to avenge her. The vengeance is swift, brutal and unexpected, leaving Zetian labeled as an Iron Widow, a much-feared kind of female pilot who can sacrifice boys to power up chrysalises instead of the other way around. To tame her unnerving yet invaluable mental strength, she is paired up with Li Shiming, the strongest and most controversial male pilot in Huaxia. But now that Zetian has had a taste of power, she will not cower so easily. She will miss no opportunity to leverage her and Ximin's combined might and infamy and survive attempt after attempt on her life until she can figure out how exactly why the pilot system relies so heavily on destroying girls' lives and dismantle it for good. And I have been told that there may be some polyamorous relationship in this. So I'm looking forward to it, but it is categorized as LGBT, and it's so beautiful, and I'm very excited. It was a new release last year, and it's already dropped in my Libby app, so yay! Roll number 2. We are going to... Is that 1? No, 3. We're staying on 3. We're staying right where we are. And we are going... 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Another card. We're on the green, baby. Picking a card, picking a card. We're gonna go with this card. A sci-fi. Let's go yonder. Let's look at the 22 of 2022 or the classic. Oh, wait, you are. We're gonna go with The Ones We're Meant to Find by Joan He. Again, I've heard mixed reviews about this, but I did really enjoy Descendant of the Crane, so it might just be, you know, a writing style preference. Despite what this looks like, it is considered a sci-fi, so, and it's on the 22 of 2022, so we're gonna go with this baby, and synopsis time. It's been 3 years and 17 days since C woke up on the shore of an abandoned island. She has no idea how she came to be marooned or what her life was like before. She has only the rickety house by the sea, the android she built for company, and a single memory. Somewhere beyond the horizon, she has a sister, and it's up to C to escape the island and find her. A world away 16-year-old STEM prodigy Katy is also looking to escape from the science she once believed in and from her home. The eco-cities, Earth's last unpolluted habitats, are meant to be a sanctuary for those from deserving lineages, for those committed to planetary protection, but instead they're populated by people willing to do anything for refuge, even lie. After a series of man-made disasters rock the planet, Katy must decide if she's ready to use science to help humanity, even though it failed the people who mattered most to her. So another sister... I've been reading a lot of sister stories lately, but... Woo! A 2021 release! And another Asian voice. Is February the month of Asian voices for me now? Who knows? Roll number 3. Let's try not to land on the same shelf. 1. Let's go up. Okay. We go all the way up here to this little happy green book. You guys can see the happy little green book. Very happy. Very nice. And we're moving... 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We land on the happy pink book. Where do I want to pull from? Maybe let's go underneath? Who knows? Ah, Another World. That's our setting. We got a setting card. Another world. Is that one on it? Where's that one? It's already in my Libby app. Because it's already dropped in my Libby app, I've had a lot of books on hold for like a really long time that I'm really trying to fill up my TBR with those. But we have Fable by Adrienne Young. I think this might be my first Adrienne Young book, even though I own a few others of hers. I think it is. It might be. But this one is set in this other world. It's about like piracy and stuff. But it's set in, it's got its own map. That's how I know it's on another world. The Narrows and the Unnamed Sea. Let's find out. Welcome to a world made dangerous by the sea and by those who wish to profit from it, where a young girl must find her place and her family while trying to survive in a world built for men. We have a feminism theme this month as well, I see. For 17-year-old Fable, the daughter of the most powerful trader in the Narrows, the sea is the only home she has ever known. It's been 4 years since the night she watched her mother drown during an unforgiving storm. The next day, her father abandoned her on a legendary island filled with thieves and little food. To survive, she must keep to herself, learn to trust no one, and rely on the unique skills her mother taught her. The only thing that keeps her going is the goal of getting off the island, finding her father, and demanding her rightful place beside him and his crew. To do so, Fable enlists the help of a young trader named West to get her off the island and across the Narrows to her father. But her father's rivalries and the dangers of his trading enterprise have only multiplied since she last saw him, and Fable soon finds that West isn't who he seems. Together, they will have to survive more than the treacherous storms that haunt the Narrows if they're going to stay alive. This one's also one I've been reading for, wanting to read for a while because I keep having it in my Libby app and then having to give it up because I didn't have time to get to it. So I will finally get to it. Huzzah! Roll number 4. We are moving to... We're staying on 1 again. We are moving to... Did I roll a what? I seriously rolled a 1. I rolled a 1! Well, at least we're on the other side of the board now. I'm just gonna pick up half the deck right now because it's a pretty big deck. Let's go with this one. Random word generator. I'm gonna random word generate on my computer real quick. All right, the random word generated is ride. Do I have a book with the title of Ride? Let's find out in the Excel sheet. Let's make our lives easy. So I don't have a book that starts with ride. So I'm going to generate again. Truth. Okay. I'm certain there's a book with truth. It's too bad I've already read Truth Witch. We have The Truth Lies Here by Lindsay Klingel, which is a mystery thrillery book. Let's see. I picked this up a while ago, so I do not remember. Penny Hardjoy. That's the name. Penny Hardjoy. Okay. Penny Hardjoy has been obsessed with the truth ever since the day she found out her father doesn't really believe in the phenomena he writes about in the tabloid Strange World. So long searching for Bigfoot and alien visitors, Penny spent her whole life since then cultivating her journalistic integrity and focusing on the facts. But everything changes when she arrives in Bone Lake, Michigan to spend the summer with her dear old dad, almost said dead old dad, and finds he's gone missing while investigating a new story. 2 local teens are also missing, and a hiker died in the woods a few months back. With the help of the boy next door, Dex, and Bone Lake's star quarterback, Micah, Penny sets off to find her father, but the deeper she digs, the weirder things start to get. Townspeople repeating the same phrases verbatim. Men in black suits trolling around Main Street. Chunks of her memory gone missing. Pretty soon, Penny's research leads her to the long ago meteorite crash in Bones Lake's woods. And she's going to have to reconsider her definition of real if she wants answers. Okay, so we've got a little paranormal thriller mystery going on here. We'll see how that turns out. Still have not gotten the other ones. I'm fearing we're going to have a 9-book TBR this month. But a bunch of those are already dropped in my Libby app, so... Heyo. Roll number 5. There we are. 5. We're going all the way down. Which you guys don't see. There she is. On the little gray book. And don't roll a 1. 5 again. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Happy green book. Another one to do is this one. Ooh, disability. A book featuring someone with a disability. Let's take a look at the twin. Do I have anybody? I don't think I have any classics that involve people with a disability. Do we consider narcissism a disability, and do I read Dorian Gray? Oh, yeah. Duh. We have Not If I See You First by Eric Lindstrom. This features a blind protagonist. And this was a last chance book, but it is also the 22 of 2022, which is nice. Happy dandy day. But we've got this. The rules. Don't deceive me, ever, especially using my blindness. Don't help me unless I ask, otherwise you're just getting in my way or bothering me. Don't be weird. Seriously, other than having my eyes closed all the time, I'm just like you, only smarter. Parker Grant doesn't need 20/20 vision to see right through you. That's why she created the rules. Don't treat her any differently just because she's blind, and never take advantage. There will be no second chances. Just ask Scott Kilpatrick, the boy who broke her heart. When Scott suddenly reappears in her life, Parker tries to ignore him. She has enough on her mind already, like trying out for the track team, doling out tough love advice to her painfully naive classmates, and giving her gold stars for every day she hasn't cried since her dad's death 3 months ago. But avoiding her past quickly proves impossible, and the more Parker learns about what really happened, both with Scott and her dad, the more she starts to question if things are always as they seem. Maybe some rules are meant to be broken. So this would be a nice, interesting representation. I don't know if it's own voices. I hope this book does the blind community well. I haven't heard anything on the contrary to that, but I can always discover more disappointing things in the world. Roll number 6. I'm hoping I can pull a classic or the indie book for this just to shorten the TBR a little bit. because you'll see the vlog video about all the goals I didn't accomplish this month. And our final roll for the day. 2! Which, for you, I'm going to say that puts you on the back end of the piggy bank up here. The piggy bank. We roll. That didn't end anyway. 4. We don't get anything special today. 1, 2, 3, 4. Another little book. Which I don't mind getting all cards. And I mean, it means I don't add anything to the icon hit counter, which is also nice. But you know, pick from this half of the stack. Let's see. Let's go with this one. Ooh, a face on the cover or design. I know I have some classics with a face on it. Like the picture of Dorian Gray. Yay! Woo! I did it. I don't have to add another one. So we're going to read Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. I've never read it, but like, I have a feeling I will be a kindred spirit with Oscar Wilde in their writing. I have gotten Oscar Wilde on some of those like quizzes of who do you write like and stuff. I have gotten near Oscar Wilde status, I think. Plus, if you've ever watched the Edgar Allan Poe murder mystery dinner party thing, the guy who played the Oscar Wilde I thought was an amazing adaptation of Mr. Wilde. But haha, classic. Which means I only add half a soul to this, and We Hunt the Flame, obviously. So that leaves me with this stack. 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have an 8. An 8-book TBR. Oh dear Lord. It's a lot. But we'll get there because now you've dropped, you're in my Libby app, you're in my Libby app. So 3 of those guaranteed will be done in February. The other ones, we'll find out. And there we have it. The February TBR is set. Do I get it? Oh, I forgot. I have to pick spoilers for one. Oh no, I guess? I don't want... Because I know Fee has now completed Iron Widow, I think I will let her spoil me on Iron Widow. I don't want to though. And I'm saving my reroll, so for next time, I may get a reroll. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Put your questions and comments down below or on Facebook, Tumblr, and Twitter. Check out my Ko-fi page if you want to support me as a content creator. I super appreciate it. And we do live streams now every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday, we write the words. Saturdays, we obey the dice and do what the dice tell us to do. And Sundays is for shenanigans. This Sunday for shenanigans, we will be reviewing Strange Gods together for the book. And if you don't know like how the book club works, join the Discord and you will be able to vote in March's book. But there are 2 books for February. We are also reading Tower of Dogs by Hala herself, and it's amazing. I've just already read it, so I needed to pick another book, and we are reading Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater again for the indie book of the month for February. So you can help us decide for March if you join the Discord. Link in the description. Alrighty, everyone have a lovely day, and I will see you next time. Oh, it's already recording. I forgot it was. I'm awake. Did she? Someone, I don't have a card, which is why I think this must have been, because somebody picked this. Anyway, I think Fee picked this. How many times do I need to say I think Fee picked it for it to be real? I can't talk. I've had a long, long day at work. I gotta check the other TBR video one moment. Strongest and most truth. Shit. Oh God.